Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. I'm going to do a little video here on some script. I'm going to use a little bit darker, like a black Prismacolor. Hopefully it'll show up a little bit better for you as I sketch. Script is always fun. There's so many different variations of calligraphy, script, fonts, everything. I've spent about 31 years in the tattoo business, and I've been drawing my whole life, so I'm not creating anything new. I'm just creating something that I've compiled based on my influences and what I like to create. So anyway, let's have some fun with this. Hopefully you guys can see what's going on. So I'm gonna do a live fast, and I'm just starting out with some baselines, and I just start out with the simple. I know that I want, it's probably hard to see, but sorry. I want live, so I'm just kind of throwing down the basic lines real light, and then fast is gonna be in a script. So here we go. I'm dropping things in real light. And then it might be kind of hard to see, but you can see where I've got it dropped in real light. Now I'm going to go in and start building a little bit heavier because I know where I want the lines to be. So I'm going to tighten up these lines and heavy things up a little bit. I know just by sketching, I kind of know where I want things to be. And again, I think I mentioned it yesterday, but like thick to thin is always a fun way to approach fonts. So I've got the live. There we go. Dropped in there, and I'm going to go in and heavy up the fast. This is the script part. Again, thick to thin is always a safe bet. It just flows nice. You can shade it from dark to light on the bottom. You can shade it from dark to light starting at the top. It's whatever you want to do. But the most important thing is, you know, I even started, when I started to sketch, I tried to sketch too much detail at once rather than create the whole drawing loosely. And it took me years to realize that was not the best approach to do it. So when you're building anything, whether it's a drawing, a sketch, fonts, calligraphy, lettering, just start out super light and get basic idea of where you want things to be. Might not be what some people think is right, but it's what works for me, and I think it's worth passing on. Once you get your thick to thin, your double lines, then you can go in and shade from bottom to top or top to bottom, whichever you prefer. Hopefully this is showing up better for you guys. So I'm going to go back up here to the live, and I'm a big fan of drop shadows and stuff, so I'm going to drop in, I'm going to come off of the lettering just a little bit and do a drop shadow. Again, focusing on my light source from the top left corner. Drop shadows are fun. Just gives it a whole nother dimension. And then I'm just going to do a real light shading in the drop shadow, nothing solid black or anything. And again, this is just a morning sketch. If I was going to create this onto a paintable surface, I may not create it as detailed as this. It's okay to do that, but I may have just had the basic outlines of everything and then transferred it to my paintable surface. But since we're putting this into a sketchbook, I'm applying quite a bit more detail than normal. So kind of getting things laid out there a little bit. From here, you know, you can heavy up the live fast outline, apply a much thicker outline to it. It just gives it a whole nother depth. Makes it jump off the page a little bit more. This is a Prismacolor black colored pencil. Bold outlines are always great. It makes things really jump off the page. And then from here you could add just a little bit of shading in the top section of the word live. So I'm going to come in about 1/8 of an inch from the big thick outline and create just a starting point for my shading. And it's there's so much real estate inside these letters, I hate to leave it blank, so I'm going to come in here and just start at the top and shade down, starting with pressure to make it darker. And then as I shade down, I'm lifting up on the pencil so that it makes a lighter tone. See that? So I'm starting, putting pressure here, and then as I'm shading down, I'm lifting up, and then I left a white edge all the way around it. It just makes it stand out a little bit. So I'll do that on the word live, and just gives it a little more character, a little more detail. And on the second leg of the L, you know, I'm not going to start it as dark as I did up here because it's more in line of where the lighter shading is. So, I mean, again, you can do whatever you want, but it's art. You can create whatever in your head. That's the cool part. Nobody can tell you anything critical or what's right or what's wrong if you're creating what's in your head. There, so I've got shaded, the word live shaded from top to bottom, dark to light. Now, on the word fast, I'm going to go in and do a real light pinstripe shadow. Come down about 1/4 of an inch. I'm not applying a lot of pressure, but want it to show up. So I've added just a hairline stripe around the word fast, drop shadow. So anyway, just some basic calligraphy and fonts and sketching and shading. Thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you'd like, leave some comments, and thank you for following my art on McKeggart on Instagram and McKeggart on YouTube. I'm gonna drop a signature in real quick. Never forget to always remember to sign your art. And we're good to go. Thanks guys, have a great Saturday.